I'm a fresh face up here for a presidential debate, and I figure, Pete, that 59, my age, is the new 38 up here.
Not if you like it, but is he going to be able to get the support that he needs from Republicans?
Okay. I like Bernie just fine. Klobuchar Sanders amendment to bring in less.
Was Sanders close?
No. It was not.
I must confess, I don't get too many newspaper editorial support. Must confess
you
that.
got the Conway endorsement.
I did. We're very proud of that.
There we go. He blames Barack Obama for everything that goes wrong. He blames his Federal Reserve Chair that he appointed himself. He blames the King of Denmark. Who does that? He blames the Prime Minister of Canada for, he claims, cutting him out of the Canadian version of Home Alone 2. Who does that?
Americans focus wants. They want the American president. They want the president, of course, the American president. Sorry about that. I'm so excited. I want to give every American $1,000 a month.
30-second response, then Senator Klobuchar after that.
30 second
Yeah, 30 seconds response.
30 second response. Who can win Florida, Pennsylvania, Minnesota? Who can do that? Because you got to be able to win those. I got to agree with Bernie Sanders. And I got to, Senate, I do. And I don't think there's any question but that the only way that we're going to beat him actually is the way that Bernie Sanders said. If we win, we can get the right thing, Bernie. I am with you.
Look.
We're close. Be careful, you're on. I would not meet with the, quote, supreme leader who said, Joe Biden is a rabid dog. He should be beaten to death with a stick. I count that.
Well, other than that, you like him.
Other than that, I like him, and he got a love letter from Trump right after that.
Senator Klobuchar.
Look, Mayor Pete has 3 years as an analyst at McKinsey.
You demoted me. I was actually an associate, but that's okay.
Senator Sanders, you can respond.
Well, just to set the record straight, I defeated an incumbent Republican running for Congress.
When?
1990. That's how I won, beat a Republican congressman. Number two, of course, I don't think there's any debate up here.
Wasn't it 30 years ago?
I beat an incumbent Republican congressman.
And I said I was the only one who's beaten an incumbent Republican in 30 years.
Well, 30 years ago was 1990, as a matter of fact.
Bernie and I had an amendment on this. We got 14 Republican votes on it. It was at midnight. They might have not known what they were voting for, but we got that.
We've turned the corner so many times, we're going in circles.
On carbon,
Thank you, Senator
then we have to make sure the money
Senator
goes back to the
Sanders into
people
this
that will be hurt by it.
Thank
to help
you,
them
Senator
with their
Klobuchar.
energy bills and to bring jobs to areas that will lose jobs.
Senator Sanders.
Thank you.
I would like
Senator
to point
Klobuchar,
out.
let me finish my question.
Oh, okay.
If any of the women on this stage or any of the men on this stage win the nomination, I hope that's not the case. I hope it's me.
The debate against him will make tonight's debate look like child's play. Are you prepared for that?
I am prepared for that. Look, I've been the object of his affection now more than anybody else in this state. 95% of the customers are out there. So we better figure out how we begin to write the rules of the road, not China.
Senator Sanders.
Joe and I have a fundamental disagreement here. In case you haven't noticed.
How would you prevent that from happening again?
Let me tell you, but before I tell you that, let me tell you something else.
And I would also note practically that the Affordable Care Act right now is 10 points more popular than the President of the United States.
My time is up, I know, but I'm not going to go over like everybody. Put your hand down for a second, Bernie, okay?
Just waving to you, Joe.
I know.
Saying hello.
I know.
I know what you're thinking, America. How am I still on this stage with them?
And I have never even been to a wine cave. I've been to the Wind Cave in South Dakota, which I suggest you go to.
Senator Sanders, you are the oldest candidate on stage this evening.
And I'm white as well. Yes.
How do you answer top economists who say taxes of this magnitude would stifle growth and investment?
Oh, they're just wrong.
Mr. Yang, what more?
I'm over here.
Mr. Yang, what more can you say
Judy.
to the American people?
Judy,
I'm sorry, Mr. Steyer. I'm sorry.
What James Madison once said when he was speaking out at the Constitutional Convention, and by the way, I think he's a pretty good size for a president. He was 5'4". And what he said—
I'm on the record saying that you need both strong men and female leaders in government, because the fact is, if you get too many men alone and leave us alone for a while, we kind of become morons.
And I think that we should build on the Affordable Care Act.
She mentioned
Senator Klobuchar, Senator Warren, we would like to bring you in.
She took my name in vain.
Oh.
She hurt my feelings.
Never do
I am
that,
crushed. Can I respond?
Never.
And he also said, quote, if you look at the world and look at the problems, it's usually old people, usually old men, not getting out of the way. Vice President Biden, I'm going to guess that President Obama did not clear that remark through your campaign ahead of time.
And
What
I'm
do
gonna
you
guess,
say to him?
And I'm going to guess he wasn't talking about me either.
Okay. Senator Warren, you would be the oldest president ever inaugurated. I'd like you to weigh in as well.
I'd also be the youngest woman ever inaugurated.
And I'm going to start with you, Mr. Yang.
Wow. Thank you.
We could do a labor action and just all go on strike on this one, Andrew.
We have not had enough women in our government. When I was on Trevor Noah's show once, I explained how in the history of the Senate there was something like 2,000 men and only 50 women in the whole history. And he said if a nightclub had numbers that bad, they would shut it down. However—
Now, there's a real competition going on up here. My good friend Joe, and he is a good friend, he's received contributions from 44 billionaires. Pete, on the other hand, is trailing. Pete, you only got 39 billionaires contributing. So, Pete, we look forward to you. I know you're an energetic guy and a competitive guy, to see if you can take on Joe on that issue. But what is not—
If elected, you would turn 82 at the end of your first term. You'd be the oldest president in American history.
Like Winston Churchill.
Are you willing to commit American history?
Oh, American history.
Yes. Are you?
I was joking. That was a joke.
Okay. All right. I appreciate it.
Politico doesn't have much of a sense of humor.
Oh, we've got a great sense of humor. They wouldn't have put me on stage otherwise.